One decision, one no. And over the next decade, a giant bled out in slow motion. In September 2000, Netflix's founders flew to Blockbuster's headquarters in Dallas with a proposal that, on paper, sounded like a win-win. Netflix would run Blockbuster's online business, while Blockbuster would keep owning the physical world of stores. Then Netflix put a number on it. Roughly $50 million for a buyout combination at that valuation. Blockbuster declined. At the time, the rejection didn't feel insane. Netflix was still small, burning cash, and the dot-com era had just taught executives to distrust internet stories. Blockbuster also had real leverage: studio relationships, prime retail locations, and a customer base trained to visit stores weekly. From inside the company, the online market looked like a side bet, not a takeover. But disruption rarely announces itself as a takeover. It enters as a nice-to-have that only a weird minority wants, until that minority becomes everyone. The moment Netflix reframed the category from renting a movie to removing hassle, it was no longer fighting Blockbuster's brand. It was rewiring customer expectations. And once expectations shift, the incumbent's best play is almost always the hardest play. Build the new model early, even if it hurts the old one. You've probably heard the story as Blockbuster could have bought Netflix for $50 million. The clean, defensible version is this. Netflix pitched a deal at around that valuation in a partnership combination framework, and Blockbuster didn't pursue it. Later, Blockbuster's CEO, John Antioco, suggested it wasn't a serious acquisition negotiation from Blockbuster's side. Either way, the opportunity passed, and that no became a masterclass in how incentives can trap a winning company. Because companies don't usually lose to better ideas, they lose to better incentives. Here's the incentive most people ignore: late fees. Around the peak of Blockbuster's power, late fees were enormous, reported at close to $800 million in 2000, roughly 16% of revenue. That's not a side hustle. That's a profit engine. Now look at what Netflix was really selling back then. Not streaming, not prestige originals. A system that removed friction: order from home, get DVDs by mail, pay a subscription, and avoid the pain of late fees. Netflix wasn't competing on movies. It was competing on customer resentment. So from Blockbuster's perspective, Netflix wasn't the future. Netflix was a direct threat to a cash machine that worked today. And this is where big organizations get locked in. The best decision for the next quarter often looks like the worst decision for the next decade. If your margins are fueled by friction, you'll defend friction, because your spreadsheets reward it. Blockbuster did try to respond, but responding late is expensive and it's messy. When Blockbuster later pushed hard into online and made moves to eliminate late fees, Reuters estimated the shift cost about $400 million. Think about that strategic math. Blockbuster had to weaken a major revenue stream while still carrying the fixed costs of thousands of stores. It was trying to run two business models at once, paying the overhead of the old world while learning the economics of the new one. Meanwhile, Netflix had no store footprint to defend and no legacy fee engine to protect. It could focus on one thing: changing habits, and habits beat brands. Once customers get used to no lines, no driving, no penalties, going back feels like punishment. That's how disruption spreads. Not by winning on day one, but by making the old way feel irrational. By the time the market fully flipped, Blockbuster's strengths had turned into liabilities: leases, inventory logistics, and a culture optimized for retail, not for subscription and delivery. In 2010, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. Netflix became the default. So what's the business lesson you can actually use? Lesson 1. Incentives beat intelligence. Smart people will defend the wrong strategy if the numbers reward it. Lesson 2. If a new model threatens your profit engine, you either cannibalize early or you pay later with interest, usually in cash, culture, and time. Lesson 3. Distribution is destiny. Blockbuster owned physical distribution. Netflix rewired distribution first through the mail, then online. When distribution changes, the best company is often just the company built for the new channel. That's why one no cost billions. Not because the future was obvious in 2000, but because saying no protected the old incentives long enough for a new habit to form without them. If you like business stories that reveal the real rules, power, incentives, and decisions, subscribe. The next one is even more brutal.